He is the legendary leader of the Kinks and the man behind Lola and Come Dancing. The new CD is the storyteller, Ray Davies. Glad you came back. And finally, she is an actress, comedian, author, and thigh master. Her new book is After the Fall, How I Picked Myself Up, Dusted Myself Off, and Started All Over Again. Suzanne Summers. Hey.
Sounds like a DNC.
You dusted yourself off pretty good, let me tell you. Yeah. Okay, well. Wow. I think this whole crowd is on Viagra. Or is it Viagra? Whatever it is. Sounds like the new Dodge.
No one alone up to knowing how to say it.
It sounds like the new Dodge Sedan to me, doesn't it? The Dodge Viagra. Well, it's much in the news. It's on the cover of Newsweek this week. Everyone's talking about it, and everyone seems to say that it's this miracle drug because it cures impotence. But the people I see who are taking it are in their 60s and 70s. In fact, Dr. Ruth here is quoted as saying, she said, by the year 2004, there will be 90 million grandparents, and for them this will be a boon. And I guess the question I want to ask is, do we want our grandparents horny?
It used to be when you said an old guy was stiff as a board, you meant he was dead. You know, now you mean something quite different.
You still want tickets?
That's our show. Why not?
I don't know.
Why the hell not?
I'll tell you why not.
Okay.
Because I seem to remember something in the Bible and also a song by the Byrds where they said, to everything there is a season. And I think it is part of the passage of life that when you get into your older years, the desire for sex goes away, so you can ready yourself maybe for the next better world by having something more contemplative on your mind than your next erection. I'm not kidding.
But Viagra doesn't give you the desire. You have to have the desire, and then the drug kicks in.
Plus, at that age, you have a lot of free time. You know, and not everybody is into gardening.
You notice the men are silent? I think that's kind of interesting.
No, I'm thinking about Bill. No, I'm silent because I'm just listening. Bill.
Well, it is a talk show.
No, I know it is. No, it's funny because you think that now. You just say, I think seasons. You know, you think it now, but later on you may not think that. But I thought sex was mental. I mean, I don't even know why they have this. I don't get it.
Well,
I thought it was a
for
mental.
you,
No, I thought it was a mental. No, I thought it was a mental thing. It can't be.
You know what, you're
it can't
right.
be instinct because they'd be doing it on the buses.
They are in New York.
We were talking about this new wonder drug, Viagra, whether it is a wonder drug and whether it messes with the biological clock. That's a term women use a lot, but this is with a man's biological clock, a human biological clock. And if you're an older man and you can't get an erection, isn't that between you and your wife, Kathy Lee? Why?
I think this whole issue is it's a cosmetic thing, an erection. I think it's something just to make you look good.
An erection.
I don't follow that at all.
Rock musicians, you know, when people think of rock musicians,
which
and
you are.
I have been, yeah, in my time. But I think the whole idea of looking at a rock musician on stage is that the idea, the belief behind it, is that that person can get an erection. Sorry. That's the whole belief. And that's the way the stigma builds. You know, I'm just an Englishman. We don't talk about erections.
I didn't know that was the whole idea. Rock and roll.
We've seen your queen.
Yeah, seen my queen. Which queen's that?
Okay, well, let's move on.
It's like, you know, see, the thing is why it's hard to talk about, because it's the thing you don't talk about. Like, you never talk about anybody you've been with.
But people do say that somebody looks horny. You look horny, for example.
I look horny.
Phil is horny.
I didn't want you to know, but I have an erection right now.
We usually refer to that as a wide-on.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, before I get thrown off the air, but they are talking about using it for women now. That was also in the news today, that it increases the woman's
flow of blood to the clitoris.
An orgasm.
Yeah.
And I was reading some of these quotes here, it was on the cover of Newsweek. Nancy Friday, author of The Power of Beauty, said, "It is frightening to be a male these days. We are a performance-oriented society, and sex has always been to the woman's advantage. For sex to occur, all she really has to do is lie there."
That slam, bam, thank you, ma'am, is to the woman's advantage?
Well,
Just lie there?
well, she's saying a performance-oriented society. She's saying this drug obviously helps men with their...
helps the performance because it increases the blood flow, right? What's wrong with running? Why can't you just do that? Why do you
Or
have to take
pornos.
pills? Or what?
But I mean,
Well, at least safer, you know? I mean, you're not taking a drug.
do you think there's something to that premise, that this takes the pressure off men because it is about performance, and a woman, she says, for sex to occur, all she has to do is lie there.
That slam, bam, thank you, ma'am, is to the woman's advantage?
Well,
Just lie there?
well, she's saying a performance-oriented society. She's saying this drug obviously helps men with their...
helps the performance because it increases the blood flow, right? What's wrong with running? Why can't you just do that? Why do you have
Or
to take
pornos.
pills? Or what?
But I mean,
Well, at least safer, you know? I mean, you're not taking a drug.
do you think there's something to that premise, that this takes the pressure off men because it is about performance, and a woman, she says, for sex to occur, all she has to do is lie there?
I think it should be in the Olympics. Should have it in the Olympics.
What else are we supposed to do?
I think they do. I think they do.
You know,
Well, I guess I've stumped the panel.
No, you didn't stop the panel. No. You said that it's a performance. It is a performance in our society, Western society.
So, what do you mean, Western society? What do they use in China? A walk? I mean, come on.
you know, there are nights that you feel like it, and there are nights that you don't. And when you don't, you don't.
But if you don't feel like it, you could still do it.
I
If
can
we
still
don't,
do it, and have.
I think now particularly, I think the pressure is on men to perform in that situation. But obviously, as I'm English, I don't have to get into that.
Oh, that's right.
But, I mean, do you think women are going to be like force-feeding men their Viagra every night so they can get it up? Is that what you're... Right.
That's an interesting notion.
Here.
You mean a white...
drip, right?
Kind of like roofies, but the wife slips it in her schlitz after dinner.
And counting them, too.
What's this drug? I've been on tour for 4 weeks, so I've missed the whole explosion of Viagra. This has exploded faster than the Michael Jackson record. You know, it's to do with selling a product, right? So is this good for anything else other than giving you an erection? Was it a heart bypass
It was
thing?
for children who had, who were hyper or something.
They usually discover these by accident.
Neuromotor problems or something.
Right. But they found a much better use. But if it's good for men and women, why don't they just put it in the water supply like fluoride? I think... All right, we'll take a commercial. All right, well, we were talking about whether old people should be able to have sex. Let me switch that to another story about someone who's old. It's going on in Detroit. A 90-year-old white patient in a nursing home requested that no black people enter his room. He's 90 years old. I don't know how he grew up. That's what he wanted. He was scared. He said he was scared of black people. Okay. Well, the nurse posted a sign on the door that said, you know, whites only, basically. Come into the room. Okay. So now people found out about it. Now it's a huge controversy. There are protests, all this kind of stuff. And my question really is, you know, if the guy's 90 years old, he's in a nursing home, do we have to make a federal case when people are a little stupid and they're 90?
Is he stupid or is he senile?
He's senile.
Well, he's racist is what he is. But, I mean, but he was born in 1908. I mean, things were different then, and people don't adjust and grow sometimes. And why make
Well, supposedly he's a senile old man who got beat up once by a black person, and his family claims, right?
Oh, who didn't?
What? Well, who didn't? I didn't. No, but I would be glad to be a black attendant there and not have to deal with this old fart. I mean, he's like out of it crazy.
But I can relate to him. No, I can. I understand it because I'm terrified of white people. If I didn't have my medication, I couldn't be sitting here today with you.
And you know,
no, Bill, no, but I used to work in a rest home, and it's interesting. They have some-timers, Alzheimer's, they have all these things, but they don't forget race. They forget their children. Their children won't come into a room. I used to work in a rest home for 5 years. And they would say, "Get your hands off me, nigger," and crazy stuff. No crazy stuff, but I could put up with it. But they couldn't remember that.
But were they crazy when they were saying
They were out of
that?
it. He's out of it. He's out of
but
it.
should we make a federal case out of it?
I mean, it could be that he, didn't like people who wear glasses or
redheads.
big noses.
Yeah, but I think they should take him to a rest home in Harlem.
But is this all the time he's afraid? Or is it only at night? Just turn the lights up. Just turn the lights up.
Only at night. I guess you've seen the Watch Towers, huh?
You see the whites in your eyes.
Yeah, at night. You're funny. Is it only at night? In the daytime, he's happy. He can see them.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's nighttime? I'm terrified. I can't see him. Very funny.
We never know how extreme the condition is.
Once again, it's an English thing. Like
Yeah,
that.
it's English, yeah.
Right.
But he definitely needs some attention of some sort. You don't haul him up in front of a jury and say, "This man is a racist."
No, but they're hauling the hospital up. That's what's going, because the hospital
Posted a sign.
posted a sign, and they made a statement, said that their potential to impact the health of our patients. And I mean, if the guy is legitimately scared, I say legitimately in his cuckoo head, so what? You know, he's probably wearing the same head thing as you. He's cuckoo. We got to take it about these new premium movie theaters that are $15, and also the first class theaters that are $15, and also the first class sections now that are being expanded. Other ways that yuppies can waste their money when they make a killing in the stock market.
Are they still around, yuppies?
Yes, they are, and they're doing better than ever. Okay, and if you really want to blow some money, there's a company now called Global Exchange, which will take you on what they call reality tours. I love this. For up to $2,600, you can visit toxic dumps,
That's my kid's
slums and sweatshops in Mexico. I'm not kidding. Sweatshops in Mexico and prisons in Belfast, among other places.
I love this.
You love
I love this. I do. It's like when I used to be a reporter. Back in the good old days when I was legitimate. No, I didn't pay for it, but it's a great experience to see things firsthand, and I don't have any problem with that. If it then encourages somebody to act on whatever and try to make change in the world, I think that's a great thing.
Well, my change in the world is just profiting out of somebody's misery, surely.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it has to be. You go in and you see wrong, and then maybe
go around the maze prison and see all the crap on the walls or something and pay for it.
I'd rather go to the Four Seasons.
Yeah, they've got crap on the wall as well.
I mean, really. Call me shallow.
How much?
I would never.
How much do they charge
I'd rather go to the
you?
Four Seasons after.
After,
You need a spa after you visited a prison.
Well, that's the point, is that they go, they see the prison, and then they go and have a spa.
Not everybody does that.
Yeah, but as a reporter, I mean, that would be very interesting to you.
Well, I've been to Alcatraz on the visit. I mean, I paid
But
like
Alcatraz
$10
is
to see
interesting.
that.
I've been there,
They've been locked in a cell on Alcatraz.
You were?
Well, yeah, it's part of the, they said, "It's okay, kid, it's part of the tour."
But maybe if you went to a sweatshop, let's say you went to a sweatshop and you saw people...
Did you pay for it?
What, the suit?
To go to
the sweatshop?
No, to go to Alcatraz.
I think it's about $10, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, he's talking $2,300.
I used to go to picnics.
$10 to get on.
$10?
$5,000 to get off.
That's what a Viagra pill costs.
Yeah. What?
$10 is what a Viagra pill costs.
Is that right?
So you could have,
and you know, huh?
you could have had an American.
Things are looking up for Bill, huh?
Whatever it takes, you know.
I agree.
So these...
I didn't know you were never that old. I'm just a man.
Looks good, though, doesn't he? Yeah, yeah.
When I have a problem, I just think of you.
That'll bring it up.
But you won't get on
Sorry.
You won't find minorities going on those tours.
Right, I don't think you would.
You won't find any black people going to visit prison.
Harlem?
Been there, done that.
It's
Or sweatshops or
it seems
way stations.
voyeuristic about someone's misery. It's sort of like a live snuff film or something.